And we are live. If I can find the right page. There we
Oh,
go.
all right. So, where we last left off, the party, reeling from their eventful night with the gnolls, set off and found their way to a mountain range that Nomad led them to, only to find that the pass through the range has been blocked by rockfall and that there is a very dangerous storm overhead. After trying to get through the rocks and the storms a little bit, the party eventually gave up and decided to just continue heading westward upon hearing what sounded like someone humming a song, a child, and a couple of the party members went to go check it out, and sure enough, there was a child in a clearing picking herbs. Kato tried to speak with the child and was doing okay, but when he beckoned Rowan to come say hello, the child freaked out and screamed. The rest of the party came running when they heard the scream, as well as a giant wolf came bounding through the forest. After staring down Kato and Rowan when the rest of the party showed up, it picked up the boy and went bounding away towards the mountains. Kato went after to investigate, and most of the party followed.
Yes.
Rowan was the only one that was fast enough to keep up with Kato, and so she was the only one who also saw the wolf disappearing into the mountains.
7 key
Just
points
seeming,
later.
yeah, exactly. 7 key points later. But the wolf seemed to be able to just leap deftly from cliffside to cliffside through the mountains, as well as letting out a loud bark that just seemed to part the storm clouds themselves. The rest of the party caught up eventually. Some needed to go get picked up.
Mm-hmm.
And as the storm clouds parted themselves, a group of people riding some kind of standing wing gliders came descending down towards the party and spoke with Kato for a bit in a language none of you speak except for Zephyr, but he wasn't there for that point. And then, seeming to have smoothed over a couple things, the party were welcomed onto the gliders and, without a moment hesitation, were brought up right into the storm clouds themselves. And after a few tense moments of holding on for dear life, entered the eye of the storm, which inside seemed to hold a bastion of safety, a village untouched by the recent developments in the world. The village of Zephra. And that's where we're going to pick back up. So, your glider pilots start making their way down towards the village, landing on a cliffside next to a giant tree that just seems to hang out over the side of the cliffs. They start leading you all into the village.
Zephyrs is gonna follow. Keeping a close eye on everything.
Yeah, where else would
Zaris
we
will
go?
follow as well this time.
Yep.
Okay, so you all follow these all these half elf people, and as you go deeper into the village, some people kind of like stop what they're doing to look at the new arrivals, especially seeing how diverse the party is.
Watch an eyesore we are.
That
in this
too.
half elf.
Yeah. As you all are making your way through the village, you do notice that just about everyone in the village seems to be a half elf, which is weird from where everyone else is from. Half elves are very rare. And a couple minutes later, a number of the pilots kind of go off to do something else, but one of them continues to lead you into a large tent. Yeah, it's more of a hut than a tent. But yeah.
Must be a really large tent if all of us are fitting in there.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Okay, I was like, damn. What's in this magical tent? ODM.
Well, as you look around, there's a couple furnishings. You also see a large table at the far end of the tent, and this person walks up to the table, and you can see on the other side of the table from you guys are three chairs made of intricate branches and vines woven together. The center one noticeably higher backed than the other two, and this person walks around the table and sits into the chair on the right.
This look. Any of the decoration look familiar to Zephyr?
I mean, they're like, what are you asking specifically?
Anything look familiar to any? Does anything look familiar to him to how he lived for a while? Let's just put it that way.
I mean,
He
everything
lived with
everything
with a
in here looks like it was naturally made and uh woven together. Some of like the kind of like the limbs of branches used to make the table kind of bend in strange ways. Like that's not usually how plants bend, and you get the sense that there was probably some kind of like druidic magic that helped shape the wood in a specific way. But other than that, you don't recognize anything.
Just gonna fall into the usual when he interacts with. Sit down, act as personable as possible.
So they're just like sitting there staring at us. Does it?
I would imagine Zephyr's
Well,
like looking at y'all and then looking at the
as
guy.
soon as he sits down, he speaks. I was just answering
Oh,
Nestor's question.
okay.
So he sits down and he turns to all of you and he says, "So, what has brought you to our village?" To which Cato replies, taking the lead, "Well, we're headed west, and according to my guide here," gesturing to Nomad, he said that your people were friendly enough and you might be able to provision us on our way out, or provide some sort of aid. Says, "Yes, well, we're not ones to leave guests to go walking out to starve in the woods. What's the nature of your travel going west? Why? I guess what I'm trying to ask is, where did all of you come from? Because you don't exactly look, no offense, like you're from around here."
Yeah, we're
Eh.
not.
It's a long story.
I came from Wildmount.
So, Wild Mount to the bit of the hermitage lifestyle.
Wildmount. I'm not familiar with this place.
It's across the ocean.
Also a bit of a... Honestly, we're kind of unfamiliar with this place as well.
Interesting.
Do-
Well, you're welcome to stay here as long as you like, and whenever you get the need to leave, you're welcome to do that as well. I am Sky Dancer Arden. If you have any need of anything, just let me know. Right now, there's a couple empty huts that I can show you to, where you can stay while you're here.
Oh, that would be great.
If Zephyr could squint his eyes, he would.
Are you the leader of your people?
No, no. The voice is away at the moment. She went to one of our other sister tribes to help them with a problem.
There are other groups like you in this area.
Well, not in this area. We have a couple villages. One other one on this land. A couple across the sea.
Oh,
Across which sea?
The western one. I don't know what the elves call that one.
Everything right now is highly suspect to Zephyr.
Do we know what the Western Sea is called?
Any of us know what the Western Sea is called?
Nope. You guys are mostly from Wildmount, and you didn't even know there was a continent to the west of Wildmount.
Okay.
I was gonna
Let
say, do we
alone
even know what
not-
this continent is called, let alone the
Yeah.
surrounding waters?
I think Nomad told you. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I thought, was it the continent, like, or was it just the forest that was called, like, Guasar? Or was that just where we were? Can't
That's
fucking
right. Yeah.
That's all I got
Okay.
written down. I got forest dash Guasar dash the fields of joy.
Oh yeah.
But I
Well, there
couldn't
you
remember
go.
if it was the forest or if it's the continent. That's the name.
Well, that's the thing. You don't know.
Well, okay, I just didn't know if Nomad had been, clear. But why would he be?
When is Nomad ever clear?
Exactly.
When is he ever not cryptic either?
When does the sun truly set?
Oh Lord, you can go.
So with that, the Sky Dancer Arden will lead you guys out of this large hut and down a ways, and yeah, takes you to 3 huts, kind of on the edge of the village. And once again says, if you need anything, just let us know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And he
you.
leaves.
Well, Zephyr's gonna catch him on the way out, just outside the hut.
Well, you're all outside the hut.
Or he completely walks away and can't keep up with him.
But like you catch him and he's like, yes.
Just random question. You wouldn't happen to know the name of a hermit I lived with once by the name Arden? Probably just a terrible coincidence.
What was his name?
Mentor and hermit's name was also named Arden.
Oh. Huh. That's funny. No. I don't know another Arden. I'm the only one in this village. Sorry.
It's just a terrible coincidence.
Yeah, I guess.
That's funny.
Just in case, I'm gonna just do insight.
I mean,
Sure.
people have the
This is
same
fun.
name sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's just a druid hermit, also named Arden, and then it's just it seemed highly suspect to me, unless it was just convenient naming from Mike.
So with your insight check, you can tell that he is completely telling the truth. He finds it amusing that there's someone else out there who has the same name as him. But yeah, he just nothing nefarious or hidden here. And
That's funny.
he chuckles and leaves you all to it.
The druid and walks away.
Hmm.
Was fucking that is the biggest coincidence ever.
So, what are we doing?
Is it like the middle of the day?
It's
Can't
kind
remember
of
what time
like
it was.
mid-afternoon.
I believe we were here to get some supplies. I remember somebody needed some arrows.
I need arrows. I would like to find supplies here to resummon my familiar. I'm sure
Yes,
Amity would as
please.
well.
That would be wonderful.
Those are really the 2 biggest needs I have.
I'm not exactly sure what we should be preparing for, so it's hard to, know what we should be
Anything.
picking up. pointed look at Kato.
I mean,
Well, when you prepare for everything, then you're often not surprised. Also, if you needed incense for conjuring your familiars, you should have told me. I have plenty.
I mean, you've seen us looking for incense. You've literally seen us do that.
The
don't know
whole
what
trip
you're
out to the
The
looking
whole
mountain.
trip.
Oh
I've-
god. That's so wonderful.
Zephyr's like holding back a chuckle from this.
So
I
if
mean,
you
if
want to
anyone
go
needs
ahead and
me-
give those to us now, that would be
Yeah.
awesome.
We'll
'Cause
go
I will
sit in
get
a
to
hut and do a
summoning.
ritual.
Yeah.
Right. He'll reach into his bag and he will hand each of you one package of incense, enough to make a familiar out of.
Sweet.
Just to carve out a familiar.
Are we gonna go just like somewhere quiet?
Yeah,
Go into one of
they,
your huts.
they showed us to huts, right?
Yeah.
Nuts.
Alright.
Yeah, go into one of the huts.
Yeah, we'll go.
As the two of you turn to leave, Kato says, Amity, when you're done, come find me. I need to talk to you about something.
Okay.
Ooh.
She blushes and walks away.
We'll go find a place of learning.
What's that? You want to go find a place of learning?
Like, sort of talk to the locals and sort of get a lay of the surrounding area from them.
All right. A lot of confused looks. Because one, you're made out of metal
Two,
and
I'm
wood,
thinking
but
druidic.
still metal. And two, they don't really
Druidic.
see a lot of metal up here. It's not a common occurrence.
It doesn't help that he's also speaking their language.
Well, I mean, Druidic's not a spoken language, or of a written language. It's kind of like the thieves' cant of the forest.
No.
Bless you.
I missed my mute, I'm sorry.
It's alright.
Everything about Zephyr sort of throws them off for a second.
Yeah. Well, what do you want to learn from them? They're pretty open people.
Various dangers, anything to be on the lookout for, anything of interest that we should investigate that isn't sacred to them, of course.
They say that there've been sighting of demons, so look out for those.
Besides the demons.
Besides the demons, we've had a pretty regular problem with snake people to the east, but that's not really a recent thing.
Alright, seeing as how that's probably a
Oh
problem
yeah.
for him.
They also say don't go near the mountain that looks like a hammer.
Keep that in mind. Mountain that looks like a hammer. No go. Okay.
They just tell you that someone lives there that doesn't want to be disturbed.
So is that mountain the rock or the hard place?
Both.
I mean, it's a mountain, so I'd guess it's the rock.
I mean, but it said looks like a hammer. Never mind. I'll just leave.
My joke on Monday was funnier, Tori.
Your joke on Monday made me want to rip out my eyeballs and put them in my ears so I would never have to hear that joke again.
That's oddly specific.
Specific.
And now I'm wondering how your eyeballs would fit in your ears.
They get smooshy once they're out of their sockets, Joe, okay?
I try not to think about that kind of stuff, and now I'll never get that out of my mind.
Okay, sorry, continue on.
Also, probably find an elder to sort of ask a few questions about himself. It'll be generally, how the fuck is something like me possible? Sort of ask an elder some very
Wait.
deep questions.
Well, you don't really see any elders. Yes, like most of them are surprised to see a metal man as much as you are surprised to exist. Probably more actually. They do say if probably seeing how the voice isn't around, the high naturalist might know something, but they doubt it.
His own time, he'll go see the high naturalist then.
All right. So you go find the high naturalist, and eventually you come to a garden that is being cared to by several of these half-elven people. And as you ask around, they point you towards one surprisingly young-looking girl at the far end of the garden.
So sort of just introduce himself the usual way. Of like, hi, I'm Zephyr. I identify as a person. Could you help me answer some very deep questions about myself?
Well, I can ask you a few questions about yourself. First of all, what are you?
I've been told a construct with sentient thought.
Oh.
Obvious.
I don't have a lot of experience with what you called them, constructs?
It's apparently what they call me. Oh. Typically, I like to be called Zephyr.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Zephyr. I'm Enna.
Meet you, and just sort of wondering, how is this possible? Or like gestures to himself as like a sentient thing encased in metal and wood that can, think and feel.
That's a very good question. Fortunately, I don't know that. Sorry.
A second question then. How is it I have such a strong connection to the crafts, as an example?
Well, that can be all kinds of things. You could, perhaps you were made out of some kind of magical wood, and then your attunement to nature is because of that. Maybe whatever you came from was attuned with nature, and so when you were made to be similar. Or maybe you were just touched by the wolf. I don't know.
At least, God damn it, Josh. Not really what I was looking for, but at least that points me in a good direction. pleasure speaking.
I hope you find the answers you're looking for.
I hope you can continue doing such good work here. Lovely garden, by the way. Swords
I plan to.
walks away.
All right.
Plan to love the garden? That sounds weird.
So, as Zephyr goes running off into the village, what does everybody else want to do?
Well, the other two are in the hut, getting their buddies back.
Yep.
Ramona, Zaris, do you guys have anything that you need to do?
Well, I mean, I'd want to get stuff that we need, but I don't know what we should get because I don't know what we should prepare for. But I guess we should prepare for everything.
How does one prepare for everything?
I don't know.
So odd.
Maybe we should just go look around and see what we see.
We
That
should
sounds
maybe
like a
get some
plan.
things.
It's simple, actually, in the grand scheme of things. When you really think about it, what you see is what you see with your eyes.
How did I know you were going to do that?
I
Shut that
again,
off.
once again, ripping out my eyeballs to stuff them in my ears.
We're never gonna let Mike live that down.
Oh, that was beautiful.
The delivery was just so.
Surprised you managed to find a context to fit that in.
Oh my god.
I'll always
Nomad.
find a way.
Oh my god.
Nomad, do we have much more mountain climbing left to do, you think? Do we have any more? You know,
If we just walk, no.
is it possible we might end up needing to traverse more mountainy areas in the future?
I mean, it's possible. I don't know where your quest takes you beyond walking west.
We should maybe prepare for more mountain-y related things. I mean, we have Zephyr to get us around, but just in case. Maybe like more rope or like some sort of hooks, like grappling hooks and stuff. If they have anything like that here.
Oh, and just preparing for all the ninja shit.
Basically. So basically, what is like the layout of this town? Is it just like huts everywhere? Like I'm trying to picture how to look at like imagine this in my mind, and I don't know how.
So it's basically like several huts positioned on a bluff jutting out the side of a mountain in a kind of like a wide valley, this mountain range. Like you guys are high enough that when like you look down off the edge of the bluff, you can see clouds below you, and then as well there's just the rolling walls of clouds that kind of like encircle this valley that make up the protective storm that's keeping all the bad shit out.
Okay.
Dude, that's actually pretty fucking high up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I choose not to look down. Clouds are supposed to be above.
I have a slight uneasiness about the height. Damn it, Joe.
But there's like huts everywhere.
Yeah, there's a decent amount of huts. They're not like in any kind of like organized fashion, just kind of like sprung up where someone was like, "This is where I want to live now."
I see.
Sort of just put down wherever someone feels like it.
Yeah, there's enough space.
How big is this? How many tents did you say it looks like roughly here?
I would say there's a few dozen.
Okay. Just gonna walk around and see if there's anything interesting. Just
I will join her.
All right.
just like people
I
trading,
will walk
selling
with them
stuff.
too.
Well,
Also,
something.
does anybody eye me weird like that little kid did? Other than the general, being kind of different.
I
Yeah,
mean-
you are.
You are getting some weird looks, but like not any weirder than the ones everybody else was getting.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, I'd say the metal man's getting weirder looks.
Yeah, you're probably getting the most weird looks. But yeah, you start making your way through the village, and you do come across at least one interesting thing as you come around a couple huts. You see the giant wolf that you met the in the forest sitting there, and as you kind of like lock eyes with it you get the sense that it's like squinting at you, like it's not sure if it can trust you, kind of sizing you up a little bit.
I hide behind Rowan.
I was gonna say it's just like looking at all of us like me.
Well, the two of you that are out walking together, yeah.
I said I
Three.
was walking with them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I
Once
didn't hear
again,
you say
I'm
that,
ignored.
Oh my god.
Maybe you should speak up a bit, Joe, so I know what you're
I'm
actually
with
doing most of
them.
the time. Cool. Good to know. Thank you for letting me know that. So the three of you then.
Porco. So it's just laying there, chilling.
Yeah, kind of like doing that, like laying with like its
Front paws crossed thing.
not cross, but like yeah, like kind of like out in front of it with like its hips to the side, like the way like a
Aw,
dog would lay
They're
out.
so cute.
Casual dog. Wait, how big is this wolf again?
That's a large dog.
It's
talking like above direwolf size.
this is much bigger than direwolf size.
Oh, this is
Um,
fucking huge.
I would say like your characters wouldn't know this, but it's about the size of a African elephant.
Holy moly.
Like Fenrir in Thor.
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah.
Cool.
Okay. That's a good
Except
one.
without the glowing green demon eyes, yeah.
Yes.
No, instead there's
We'll
squinty,
see.
angry eyes.
Yeah.
Not angry, just
Should I eat you?
distrustful. Yeah.
I mean, eventually, I'll reconvene with y'all if y'all are spending that much time in front of a wolf.
Yep, I'm just looking at it, looking scared.
Just
Rowan
highly interested in
just
the wolf.
kind of bows to it and we apologize for any disturbance we caused you. It was not intentional and we meant you no harm.
Well, I mean, you're not like. Are you walking up to it to say that?
Well, yeah!
Or are you yelling at it from a distance?
I didn't realize how far we were. Sorry, I didn't hear that part. But yes, I will walk up to it and then say these things. Well, as close as I can get before I'm like, ah!
Outstand, you're welcome.
Now, without being in super close chomping distance.
Yeah, just clawing distance.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like way back.
The wolf just looks down at you. Before eventually snorting and looking away.
I don't think he likes you.
And then, like, you kind of see peeking out from behind one of the wolves, kind of like legs. See the boy from before kind of peek out, and then when you see him, just dart back from hiding behind the wolf.
Oh, the little kid?
Yeah, the boy from before.
I can't remember. Did he understand me when we were talking? Oh, yeah, because he was speaking to Kato. I understood that one.
Or speaking a language you don't understand, but you did. Well,
Oh, wait, no,
I
it was
believe-
like close.
I-
Oh, yeah, it was like close-ish to.
Yeah, I believe Kato did speak Elvish at one point.
At the
and
beginning, yeah.
At the beginning, and there, yeah, and you're not sure if like the boy recognized the language, but yeah, you do see the boy, like everybody else in the village, is a half elf, so it's safe to assume he speaks Elvish.
Um. Is he like just chilling behind the wolf, just like looking at us, or
He's
trying to
hiding behind the
avoid?
wolf.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant. You said peeking out, so.
Hiding and chilling isn't the same thing.
Sorry. Does he look at all like he wants to talk to us, or is like, the fuck?
Oh, he's since moved back now so that he's out of sight, hiding behind the wolf.
Oh, okay. I'll leave him alone. And just continue on our meandering of town.
Talking to that wolf later.
And I'm still following.
Good.
Just so you know.
All right. So yeah, you go walking around the village. I mean, as villages go, there's nothing like super like substantial. Every once in a while you'll see like someone like run off of a cliff and then go flying away, but that's about it.
Jesus, I thought you should say running off of a cliff. And like, I was like, okay, what the fuck?
Just casual.
No one drink the water, no one eat the food. Like, we're leaving.
We're out of here.
Drink any
Zephyr
sword
bird,
water.
let's go.
You do realize I can only fit one of y'all on that, right?
Shoddy.
Claws, one on back.
And then Amity can make two herself and one other person fly, so...
Yay!
One person just has to... kick it. The creepy running off the mountain people. Anyway, sorry. So there's no, like, little area where, like, people are set up, like, trading goods or anything? Nothing like that? They're all just...
Well, seeing how this isn't exactly a place with a high amount of traffic for trading.
Oh, I mean with
No.
each other. Like, people need stuff from other people. Sometimes.
Imagine it'd be like walking up to your neighbor.
Like
and
every
asking for-
once in a while you'll see like someone like give someone else something. You get the sense there's no like official trading space. It's just like, hey, can I have some of these? Yeah, sure, here you go.
Like asking your neighbor for sugar.
Yeah.
No one does that anymore. Everyone's way too
People
stupid.
still do that?
Yeah.
I had to do that a couple weeks ago. That was awkward as fuck.
We could find the dude that flew us here. Ask him stuff.
Ask the
Dude, Arden?
droid stuff.
Yes. Because those glider things are cool anyway, and I kind of want one.
That's true. Those are pretty...
Let's
Pretty
find him.
We go look for Skydancer Arden. back to the hut where we
Take you
originally
along.
found him, I guess.
Well, he's not at that hut.
Okay.
You would go there first because that's where he led you, but he's not there. You would actually run into Zephyr before you would run into him. So
I'll actually be reconvening with them anyway.
I hadn't told you yet that you were with them yet.
Yeah.
So now you are. And then the four of you. See, Joe, I didn't forget.
Finally.
The four of you eventually find him speaking with a couple other of these glider pilots.
I'll wait for him to finish talking to them.
All right.
Ian, like, is this like common Elvish, Sylvan?
What languages do you speak?
I think it's still in the chat
Druidic.
for him.
Yeah, it's still right there. Yeah, common, druidic, elvish, infernal, sylvan.
They are. Do you understand?
For a second.
You got cut off a little bit, Mike.
Yeah,
Oh.
we heard speaking language.
They are
you
not.
Understand.
They are not speaking a language that you understand.
Okay.
Interesting.
And after a minute or two, their conversation ends, and Sky Dancer Arden turns to the four of you. It's like, ah, yes, sir. Yes. What can I do for you?
Those glider things.
Oh, our sky sails?
Yeah. How do they work, and how could we learn any?
How do they
or
work, and where
maybe
can I
try
get
to use one?
Well, how they work is kind of a secret of the village. Can't really share it with outsiders.
Oh, that seems fair.
What was the second question?
Well, it's all irrelevant now.
Oh, okay.
It was, based on how do they work, and how can we
Ah.
have one. But
Because they're really cool.
and seem
Thank you.
very practical.
It'd
And
make
seem-
traveling very easy.
Yeah.
Is
They're
there maybe
kinda
something we
limited
could
on weight.
do to acquire one? Like a task or something?
Or what would you recommend to outsiders that would make traveling possibly far easier? Because we don't actually know where we're going.
Well, outside of the mountains, you won't really get much use out of them. As for ways to help with travel, yeah, I'm not sure on that either. Most of the time we just walk if we can't fly. We don't really do a lot of traveling.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you guys have arrows we could not exactly borrow, since I don't think we'll be returning them, but I don't know, have or purchase from you?
We don't have any, but we can certainly make some.
Oh. That would work. How long would that take?
Depends on how many you need.
Ramona, how many arrows do you think we need to get for Vanya?
I don't know. I don't shoot arrows.
Golly, how about Vanya was here?
How many arrows do a quiver hold?
20.
Can we
That's
get
about right.
40? I don't know.
40
to
arrows?
60 is a decent start, I'd say.
Sure. Could probably scrounge that up in about an hour.
Okay.
Yep.
Well then,
I'd have some interesting
R-
construction.
Rowan, as someone who is martially trained, maybe not in bows per se, but still martially trained, you find that crazy.
that
It
they
takes
can...
a lot. It takes a lot longer to make arrows than 40 arrows in an hour.
Yeah, that's why I was like, what?
My
I
interest is
sort-
now peaked.
I'm gonna sort of give him like a quizzical look, like how?
How what?
I don't mean to be rude or to shame your skills of crafting, but would you make 40 arrows in an hour?
Oh, sorry. We'd ask them to.
Ask
Sorry,
the
what?
arrow. You'd ask the arrows to make themselves.
Well, we'd ask the materials to make themselves into arrows. Yes.
Sound familiar?
Huh.
Is
Is
it
this
possible
within the
that we
realm of
could?
possibility?
Is it possible that we could maybe witness this crafting?
Uh, sure. In fact, if you like, you can go ask her yourself. There's a garden on the west side of town. Her name's High Naturalist Enna. Just tell her that I sent you and that you need 40 arrows.
I was just there.
Oh,
Oh, so you know her. Good.
Individual, yes.
I guess we'll go do that then.
All right.
Thanks.
also, are there
Let-
other than giant woof woof? Are there any moon moon? Are there
Huh?
I get the feeling the wolf would be offended by that.
are there any like other animals like on this bluff, or just the one?
Well, I mean, there's
Obviously not birds in the sky.
Or like as you say that, it's like he started to like gesture, and then like as you say like, oh, not really, not in the village anyway. Sometimes, well, not sometimes. There are a couple flocks of wyverns in the mountains, but they're harmless for the most part.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Don't
Good to know.
suppose you mean any other his size, right?
What's that?
There's only like one of his kind that are that size, right?
I think he's talking about the wolf.
wyvern.
The
Oh,
wolf.
well, it's a she, but as far as I know, she's the only one here. I haven't
Try not to-
heard of any other wolves
How-
that big. Well, other than the big man himself, but that's a whole nother tale.
How long has she been here with you?
Well,
Also, does she have a name?
Yeah.
yes.
Ask.
Her name is Sif, and she has been here for say almost 2 months now.
Months.
Is her time here related at all to that child that is with her?
Yes. That's Ari. She's here to protect him.
Ari, oh, Speedwagon.
is protect him from what?
Just whatever.
Also,
mean,
is it normal that you have small children simply running around at the bottom of the mountain?
Well, he was probably off just getting some herbs for Enna.
Is it Enna
Huh.
or Anna?
Enna with an E.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking E-N-N-A.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I thought
E-N-N-A,
the
yeah.
first time I thought I heard Anna, so I was like, wait, now what is? I'm so confused. How did they become so attached to one another?
Well, she was sent here for him. His parents are away, and she's here to be his guardian.
So it's his parents that just sent along a giant wolf to protect their child?
Oh no.
Do you know who sent the giant wolf to protect the child?
Oh, yes.
Happened to be the big man himself.
Oh, yeah, you know of him?
I'm just a leap in logic. If he sent her here, would make sense, wouldn't it?
This big man you speak of, does he have a name?
Oh, yes. He's our savior. Asher, the Watching Wolf.
Is this a wolf that you've seen, like Sif, or it's like more of a divine being?
Yes.
To
Oh.
which of those statements?
Both.
Both.
Okay.
If you like, you can make a religion check.
Okay.
Actually good for Rowan to find out.
I mean, for everybody to find out.
Especially
Character
Rowan.
knowledge versus player knowledge here, guys.
11.
11? Yeah, doesn't ring a bell.
Oh.
Huh?
Hey! Ramona, that
You just rolled two.
it does ring a bell for you.
Joe, you just rolled 220.
I was gonna say, can we talk about what
Joe
you just
just
did?
rolled 2
Oh my god!
Oh my god. Joe.
Didn't realize I was still at disadvantage, but either way, I just use all my good rolls for the
There
night.
goes all your luck for the night.
The rest of the month.
Never roll that.
On the religion check, yeah, it's always on the religion.
I told you, it's
Yeah.
I get the great rolls on pointless shit every time.
I actually thought
It's not
you did it at disadvantage on purpose because like there's no way I would know this. Disadvantage.
Actually, it would probably make sense that it would be a disadvantage for him.
But for some reason,
He doesn't pay that much attention to much religion, so.
Yeah.
But this
He's
Yeah,
like, oh, I know
apparently.
this shit.
it's the one pearl of
The one
nugget.
thing that's stuck in his mind, apparently.
Yeah, I guess.
Some patron granted wisdom.
So,
I don't have a patron.
Ramona and Zaris, you both recognize the name of the prime deities. Asher, the Watching Wolf, is the legitimate son of the Archheart and twin brother to Avandra the Changebringer. He is often depicted as just a wolf face, sometimes with multiple pairs of eyes. When they're trying to get a little bit more kind of creepy with it, but
you said it was twin
So-
brother to the Changebringer, and what was the first one?
legitimate son to the Archheart. The Archheart being the progenitor of all elves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, this is real
Um,
depressing that I'm the one who didn't get this.
Well, it makes sense seeing how you
I
are
guess.
drow.
That's true.
Yeah. Xeris, with your 21, you would also know that Asher is often referred to as the first druid, and trying to decide which tidbit to give you.
All of them.
No, he only rolled a 21 with that nat 20.
That's as good as I can do, man.
He
I know.
rolled 2 nat
I know.
20s, sir. Don't you shortchange that.
It's the only
Hey,
good
that's
roll I'm gonna have
acceptable.
tonight, man. Come on.
I go for
All
more
right,
situational
fine.
for this area.
In addition to that, I'll also give you a bit more information because because I think it's funny that you would know this and Rowan wouldn't. He's also the one that he's also the one that protected the Archheart from Lolth when she betrayed him and cast her down.
I hate you.
Just wait for another lore tidbit that's gonna really annoy you.
There's a couple more in there, but I'm gonna keep those for later.
Yeah, you're gonna keep those for later. That's really gonna annoy
Good to
Tori.
know.
For all you on how you guilt tripped into TM. The only reason I
Nothing to do
wasn't
with
going
that.
to give him that information was because it doesn't really pertain to what they're talking about right now. But there you go. I'll give it to you anyway.
We still count it as a victory.
Right until 5 seconds later where you're actually tripped.
Ugh. So why did your, divine one send someone to protect that specific child?
Well, hold on, I need to look something up real quick.
The character that you made.
No, this is something completely different. I can never remember what the like the name for like the leader of the water Ashari is. I can never remember what it is.
I'm gonna be honest.
Ah, there we go. He says, well, the current leader of one of our other tribes, she's known as the Heart of the Tides, is his mother, and his father is the chosen champion of Asher. So, kind of got some big shoes to fill.
So the
What did you say the mother was?
She's
of
the
the
leader
Tides.
of another tribe. Her title is Heart of the Tides.
Heart of the Tides. I heard Heart of the Tides, and I was like, the fuck?
Heart is in the organ.
Mhm. I'm assuming you're not the guy in charge here.
Oh no, that would
The
be
voice.
the voice of the Tempest. Yeah, I'm just lead sky dancer.
Heart of the Tides, Voice of the Tempest. I take it that, if I could, make the connection, you're all related sort of to the areas you live.
That'd be a good guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, this was very insightful. Thank you.
Sure. Let me know if you have any other questions.
I have a question.
I was about
Sure.
to say I do have another question, but you go first.
Okay.
If I
Yeah.
wanted to go for another ride on one of the sky sails, is it doable?
See him pull a staff off of his back. Say, you want to go right?
One
Sure.
last question. One last question before you go. You don't have any shrines to the Wild Mother here, do you? Yes.
Not really. It's not that we don't believe in the Wild Mother. We understand she's important. The Watching Wolf kind of just, one of his beliefs is that the gods ask too much of the mortals with all the constant praying and whatnot. He doesn't ask us for any such praying, and so for that same reason, we don't give other gods any praying either.
Alright, just wondering.
As
If
he's
you pray to anything, any plant or tree, would that not be a shrine to the Wild Mother?
So very true.
as you're having this conversation, you see that he has taken the staff and from this kind of like long, slender staff, several like hidden compartments on the staff just suddenly start like folding out as he's like pulling them apart, and then it's not long before there's a full glider just sitting there that he's holding, and then he reaches out a hand to Ramona and is like, hop on.
Hooray! I do.
Last
All right.
airbender.
You see, like, slight panic on Rowan's face. She's like, ha, be careful with her. Please bring her back.
She's very fragile and she's
very
allergic to
small.
all these things, and it's
Very
just...
small, and like one strong gust of wind, and like you'll lose her.
This is her allergy list. Here's her inhaler.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's her EpiPen, orange to the thigh, blue to the sky.
He chuckles and looks at you, and he says, "Don't worry, she's in very capable hands." And then with that,
I give a thumbs up.
he
Rowan gives, like, a-
goes running off of the cliff. And there's just like a moment where your heart drops, Rowan, as they kind of dip below, like your sight line
He
on
like
the cliff.
runs to the edge of the cliff,
Yep.
like ah.
And just as you run to the edge of the cliff, they just come shooting off up into the air in front of you.
Just imagine Ramona. Whee! Rowan stands there and waits very impatiently.
Oh,
of,
thanks,
like-
Mom.
Just stands there and watches and is like, okay, that's enough. You can come back now.
So Ramona, you are taken on quite the ride
Whoa.
up into the
Giggity.
clouds, and then
Damn it.
you guys are terrible.
Taking
Yep.
you to heaven.
Forget who you're talking to.
The wind just seems to whip across your face. You're having a hard time actually like seeing anything with the high winds, and especially when you see notice kind of like your weight kind of shift forward as the glider goes down into a bit of a dive, which is really terrifying for Rowan, as you just see this glider just going straight down into the rocks, and then like well before there's any danger of hitting the rocks, like he pulls up on the glider, but from like Rowan's perspective, it looks like he just narrowly misses the rocks.
She's like,
I'm
ah.
just laughing all the time.
Zephy's like, I can attest to why she would think this is cool. A bird. I've had first-hand experience.
Cyrus is just watching.
As you're flying around, Arden will kind of like look back at you and say, "So how crazy you want to get?"
Do it.
Oh, damn.
All right, hold on.
Whoa!
I'm gonna die.
You're in capable hands.
All right. So, Rowan, what you see is the glider go flying up, kind of like straight up, disappearing behind some high clouds, and as it goes up, Ramona, you feel suddenly just like your entire body go weightless as the glider suddenly just like loses all kind of like thrust, and then you find yourself kind of like the whole glider just falling backward, going back down, straight down into the cloud. As it breaks the surface of the cloud, he suddenly starts going into these complex turns and spins that leave your stomach lurching. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Oh jeez.
Don't barf
Do
on
you
this
pass
plug.
out from them G's?
Question is, does Rowan get sick from watching it? Because
She
she's
just has
paranoid.
really. She's got palms are sweaty, knees weak, mom spaghetti.
Oh, God.
Shimedi.
All right.
Like when they go up into the clouds and she doesn't see them for a moment, she's just like looking around at like every cloud, like are they where they were, they were, they were, they were, they were.
She's so nice.
And
Just, like, relax. They'll be fine. She might be a little sick, but she'll be fine.
all right, so you're able to keep your breakfast down as he kind of pulls out of these high G turns. And then finally, after whipping around the valley a couple more times, you guys see him come flying back towards the cliff that you're standing on. And you quickly get out of the way as it looks like he's about to just ram right into you guys. Just like as soon as reaches the edge, he just kind of like picks up and the wings flare out and all the speed just dissipates real fast and the glider just plops down safely on the grass.
Yeah, hop off. Like
All right.
Rowan
rushing
runs
my
over and
eyes.
gives her a really big hug.
Ramona, as you jump off of the glider, you accidentally fall down to your knees as like your legs are just
Oh
shaking.
yeah. But I'm like laughing and crying. And smiling.
One of the most terrifying and joyful experiences of your life.
Rowan like runs over and like kneels on the grass next to you and like picks you up and is like, "Are you okay? What happened? What did he do? Are you all right? What's going on? Why are you crying? Why are you laughing? What's wrong?"
What's happening? That was amazing. Like the most scariest, but the most fun. I don't know if I can stand.
I like to think I just kind of bear hugged her and then stood up.
Oh, okay, so
And just I'm like, this is mine.
My child.
See,
Oh,
Arden
wait,
is grinning at all you guys. Is like, anybody else want to go for a go?
you should do it, Rowan.
You should definitely.
I'm not. I'll definitely do it. I'm not so much worried about me. I thought you were literally just gonna like fly away.
Just like doing this, don't you?
Thanks for carrying yourself.
Gently place you back on the ground. Like, can you stand?
In a sec.
We sort of
I
ask this
wait.
guy and sort of like,
I
you
stand.
don't have to do this
Okay.
often, do you?
I let go.
We sort of
Okay.
ask this guy to answer, you don't get to do this very often, do you?
Actually, I do this all the time.
Really?
Just never gets old.
I like check, make sure Ramona's actually in one piece.
I'm good.
I'll
Or-
keep an eye on her, don't
Honestly.
worry.
Okay.
Sorry, so you went for one of these?
Turns around.
Yeah, once she's back.
Alright. People willing to do this next after rowing.
Yeah. Cracks her knuckles, cracks her neck, and is like, let's go.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm willing, definitely. I mean, correct, I've already died once. What's the worst that could happen?
All right.
I
For
feel
the
like
sake of
plummeting to your death and turning into a pancake might not be fun.
for the sake of brevity, why not everybody that's going up on a glider ride? Why don't you just make me a con save?
And here's where my bad rolls will start.
I sat down and I started drawing them
Does
flying
someone
because it was
actually
cute.
do a con save?
Yes, you do.
The
got-
G's.
He does a lot more insane stunts than you would normally do, I'm guessing.
There's something different about a body meant for being on the ground, doing all those things in the air, than say a bird body built for that kind of thing doing
Yeah.
it. All
Right.
right.
Especially one made of wood and metal.
So, Rowan.
Me, with the plus 11 acrobatics who just flips his shit all the time, is the one who's gonna chuck it.
I mean, you do flips and shit all the time, but not high G whips,
I know.
flips and
Whips
shit.
and flips.
Hundreds of
flip.
feet in the air.
So Rowan, you do a pretty good job of keeping everything down, right up until you guys land and
I
you
blame it on the sun.
and you fall on the ground and you just like it's like your body actually like somehow got accustomed to the loftiness of flying, and as soon as it hit the ground it was just like, nope, never mind, and just threw up.
I go hold
So-
her hair.
He was
Just
at
like a
sunlight exposure.
I blame it. I was gonna say I blame it on like sun migraine.
Oh,
Sun migraine.
I know. Rub her
Like,
back
flying-
and hold her hair for her.
I am Icarus. I have flown too close to the sun.
Oh man, that's funny. All right. So everybody got a glider ride.
Let's
You
buy
guys-
supplies. Okay, let's go.
Okay, sounds good.
Let's go
So,
find supplies. Ooh, look at glider.
We're in an amusement park.
you all kind of stumble your way away from the cliffside, and let's jump back over to Vanya and Amity because they
We're
were
both just sitting.
We just did that by
They-
ourselves.
they would have finished recasting their familiar spells a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
It only takes like 11
It take-
minutes or something.
It takes an hour.
Oh really? Oh okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. So
And
not
if you're
it's still
ritual
it's
casting, it's an hour and 10 minutes.
right. That's right. I always forget that Find Familiar takes an hour to cast, and so
I had
I
to- I
only
had to
think
go
about
look
the
it back up.
ritual.
Yeah, that's why we were. That's why we were
So-
like, God damn
okay.
it!
So
Yep.
it's still
Negative
been a bit.
lying, and we're ritual casting.
It's,
like
it's still
nerds.
it's still been a bit since you guys finished, just not as long as I was originally going off of. But yeah, so you guys finish your spells. Your what were they again? Like a weasel and something.
Yeah, I have a
They have tokens. Yeah.
Yeah, I know they have tokens, but we're not exactly on a map right now, so.
Oh yeah, they're not on the main page. Oh.
No. I was
they should be.
Vanya has a pseudo dragon,
So
Right.
and Amity has a weasel.
Yeah, I have a mink.
Mink.
A mink.
That's it. All right, so yeah,
You're on a ride to Pseudo Dragon.
you have your familiars back, and they're looking at you like, God, what took so long?
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
We got lost in the woods and
A lot's happened.
she just puts marmalade on her shoulder.
Yep. Wrap thorn around my neck.
And then she's like, well, I guess I need to go find Kato now?
Yeah, good luck with that. I guess I'll go find the others.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. I wonder what they're doing. It's not like they can have that much fun while we're gone or anything.
Yeah, I mean it's just a village. What could they possibly be doing around here?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm having a lot of fun.
Oh my god, hi.
Are you sure the whole time?
He has been.
Just standing there watching you two for an hour in concentration.
No, he seems to be playing with cards.
Just doing solitaire in the background.
What are you doing what are you doing? What have you been doing? We've been here for like an hour.
Yes, I've been listening to you chant.
Okay.
Is that entertaining for you?
Well, it keeps me focused on what I'm actually doing, which is playing cards.
Uh-huh.
You make it sound like I'm weird. You think I'm weird?
I mean,
I feel like I really don't have any room to talk about weird, so...
Yeah, me either.
Both of you just spoke to animals like they were your children.
She is my child, thank you.
Uh-huh, yep.
Come to find out, Nomad invented solitaire that day.
No,
So-
it's actually a card game called Caravan.
Caravan.
Because he's a nomad.
Hey.
I get it. I got
Eyeballs,
it. I just
ears.
wasn't going to acknowledge it with laughter.
The complexities of his character are through the roof.
Everybody's just like, well, I mean, I guess have fun with Nomad then, Vanya. Bye.
Okay.
Just linked with... He's a nomad.
You
Just
two
like,
play
see ya.
nice. Bye.
He can
Anya, you
teach
can leave as
you.
well. I don't expect you to stay here.
Thank you. He leaves.
Oof.
Yeah. I guess Amity will go try to find Kato wherever the hell he is.
Alright, and Vanya's going to find the rest of the party?
Yep.
Alright, Vanya, go ahead and make me a perception check.
Okay.
If you see the shenanigans first.
In the tent the whole time.
Alright. You don't find the party until they are walking towards the garden that Arden Garden Arden, that's funny. That Arden pointed them towards.
Yeah, I'll run to catch up with them.
Kai,
This
Hello.
is more interesting than you.
look!
think.
I'll show her the sketches I did of everyone flying on the gliders.
Nice.
Oh.
As long as there's not a sketch of me hurling.
No.
It's more of a doodle.
That's for the private collection.
That looks like fun.
It was so much fun. You should go try it.
Perhaps if we have time. Where were you all heading now?
Get arrows
To
made.
get you some arrows.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
good.
can make apparently they can make like 40 arrows in an hour, so
What?
this will be interesting.
I'm assuming I would have a very good
know.
understanding of how long it would take to make arrows.
Yeah, it takes a bit. I can only go from my personal experience, so I'll assume that people back then who did it all the time were like did it 3 times faster. So I'd say like making one arrow takes like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So making 40 arrows in an hour seems ridiculous to you.
I will have to see this.
Here.
They
Same.
said they make the arrows make themselves. It sounded weird.
What?
I don't know.
Mhm.
Honestly, I'm highly intrigued now as a druid myself.
Yeah.
Is 40 enough? I didn't know. He's like, how many? And I'm like, I don't know arrows.
Yeah.
How many? So I asked for 2 quiver.
Yeah, I've got about a little over half my quiver full now. I can refill it, and if you don't mind, you said you had a place I could store the spares.
Yeah. In my bag.
Great. No, that should. If we're not going to run into civilization again for a while, that should hold me.
I forgot Zaris uses a crossbow.
Used to.
Yeah, so Zaris, you would also know that it's
Oh, yeah.
pretty ridiculous. Yeah. So, you guys. So as you guys start making your way towards the garden, let's jump back to Amity. Amity, you've been walking around the village for a while. It's not that big of a village, and you can't seem to find Kato anywhere.
Actually using his 50 stealth.
She's just gonna be like, Kato, if you're around here, can you? I mean, I'm done now. I assume you knew how long I'd be gone. She's just
Talking to the
saying this
sky.
to nothing.
Hello. Hello.
She's just gonna like keep looking around. I guess she doesn't really know what else to do.
Okay.
So
as you could just kind of like audibly like talk out loud to Kato,
yeah.
it was like Kato, just like someone passing by is like, "I'm sorry, are you talking to me?"
No, sorry. But I'm trying to find a friend of mine. Sorry. She's gonna like
All right.
look away awkwardly.
What does he look like? Maybe I can help you.
Handsome.
He's got really nice eyes.
Weird edgy.
Ouch.
He's like kind of mysterious. Like he's like dark hair and he wears a hood a lot of the time.
Okay.
about-
So what you're saying is, of the people that came with you, the one in dark clothing.
Yes,
Got it.
that one.
Pretty sure I saw him by the great cherry blossom tree.
And where is that?
Not helping Amity ship her heart.
So
Uh,
romantic.
kind of like
Blackie.
he points and you can see on like a that kind of on a slightly higher bluff overlooking the village, there's a large cherry blossom tree that just kind of juts out away from the mountain range, and you can see that there's like a small walking path making its way up there.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Thanks. Bye. Just gonna turn around and go that way.
All right. So,
So,
you make your way to the cherry blossom tree, and sure enough, you see there sitting underneath the tree, looking out over the vistas of the valley, is Kato, and you can see like a little bit of smoke coming from the ground in front of him. It smells like incense. You think he might be casting a spell.
alright. She'll kind of make her way over, but slowly, and keep her distance to not distract him. maybe see if she knows what he's casting.
Sure, make an Arcana check.
Woo!
Nice. You watch him casting the spell, and it takes you a moment, because it's not a spell that you as a wizard can cast. In fact, you're a little surprised because, as far as you know, it's a spell that only clerics can cast. It's divination.
She just raises an eyebrow and watches until he's done.
So you watch him for a bit, and there's you kind of like notice in the chanting of the spell that it comes to a bit of a finality, and then like his back kind of like straightens up as he finishes the spell, and you can see that his eyes just suddenly go, just like for a split second, just like a flash of white.
Okay.
And then he kind of like blinks, and his normal blue eyes are there, and then he looks over at you. He says,
Hi. You wanted to talk to me.
Yes.
What were you casting just now?
Oh, it was a spell I was using to answer a question.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Anyway, the reason I wanted to talk to you is because I've been watching the party, getting a feel for everybody's strengths, and well, wasn't really hard to figure out that you're a wizard.
I am.
So, I have something for you that might be of use to the party. And he reaches into his bag, and he pulls out... Here you go.
Oh, what? You cut out literally just for the description.
Yeah.
Oh! He pulls out a scroll.
Oh.
And he hands it to you. He's like, here you go. It's a spell that I can cast, but fortunately I can't put it in my book.
You have a book?
He says, yes. And he gestures to his lap where you see a book open. And you can see what looks spell runes and incantations written into the book, much like a spell book. But I don't know, you get the sense that something's different about a book. Yeah.
Oh. Thanks. She's gonna open the scroll.
It is a scroll of hallucinatory terrain.
Ooh. Oh.
Yeah.
Ah,
I thought, seeing how we're going to be traveling through pretty wild landscapes with all manner of creatures that would probably want us dead, and especially after that last fight with the Knoll surprise attack at night, I thought it would be a good idea to make use of that. Because of the nature of the scroll, I'd only be able to make use of it once, but being a wizard, you could use it a bit more often. So
Yeah, I'll have to go get some paper and copy it.
Second, reaches into his bag, pulls out paper, ink for
Oh,
transcribing spells into spell books.
thank you.
Presumably Mike wants to avoid Caleb situations.
And
I mean, Kato also had paper for himself, so.
she'll start writing then, I suppose.
All right. If I remember right, you're an abjuration?
Yep.
Yeah. So, being hallucinatory terrain being a illusion spell, it would take you 8 hours to transcribe it, and it is getting a bit later in the day.
Alright. Then she'll keep the paper and she's like, Can I borrow this?
It's yours.
Oh. Thank you. She'll just kind of roll everything up and put it in her. Thanks. Is that all you wanted to talk about?
Yep. Did you have any questions?
Not really. Not any important ones. I'm gonna go. Bye-bye. She's just gonna lick hers off.
All right.
Across his face in just a good angle.
She's gonna look over the scroll on her way back to finding people.
All right. You as you're making your way back, looking at the scroll, go ahead and just make me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
All right. It's pretty good. There's a couple occasions where you trip on like a piece of rough stone or almost walk into someone, but you're able to react fast enough to avoid such trivial dangers and
Sweet.
think maybe it's not the best idea to read and walk at the same time, but
it's her favorite activity.
yeah, fair enough. All right. So, the rest of the party makes their way to the garden. And as Zephyr has already met Anna once, it is easy for all of you to find her.
Okay.
And she looked up and was like, "Oh! So,
Oh, yeah?
I guess... So, you brought your friends."
Is Vanya half elf? Elven?
Half elf.
My half elven friend Vanya here is looking to get some arrows made, and Auden said you were the person to see about that.
Oh, yeah, I can do that for you.
So if it's possible, might we observe? Because it's...
I suppose that's fine. Yeah. Just need to collect a few things first. How many arrows did you say you wanted?
If it's not too much trouble, about 40. I don't know how long we're going to go without seeing civilization again.
If you need a hand, feel free to let me know.
Well, it'll go a lot faster if everyone else would like to help.
Yeah, I can help.
Sure.
I'd be happy to learn a little bit about this process myself.
All right.
Same.
So I need sticks about the size of an arrow shaft. If it's a little big, that's fine. And rocks about the size of an arrowhead. If those are a little big, that's also fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Survival or nature?
Start looking around.
All right.
Well,
Start looking for sticks.
yeah.
No check required on this, as it is the easiest form of foraging, looking for sticks
Well,
and
what if-
stones
In a garden.
What if
in a garden.
You can break someone's bones.
So yeah, you guys spend like the next kind of like 20 minutes finding sticks and stones. And meet her back at this kind of like small hut on the edge of the garden. That as you kind of look in looks to be like some kind of like forage house where they like keep everything just kind of like keep it out of the rain kind of thing. And inside is a small kind of like work table, and you can see that she's got a small bundle of feathers sitting on the table as well. And she says, "Well, just place them right there on the table."
Okay.
Down. Zephyri's highly interested to see how the fuck this is done, because do this, it would make Vanya's life so much easier.
So, um, she kind of like puts them in order. Stones on the left, sticks in the center, feathers on the end, and no, they're not diagonal.
Oh, sorry.
It's an important distinction to make.
Yes, it is. And she starts casting a spell, and as she is casting the spell, you notice that the stones start to just kind of like get thinned down, almost like they're eroding themselves of the excess stone material. The feathers are kind of cutting themselves up into nice little sections, and the sticks themselves are straightening themselves, and any kind of like small stumps or twigs kind of sticking off the sides just kind of like sink into the shaft of the stick, and then the stick just seems to start to wrap itself around the stone, making probably the most stable arrowhead junction, than just kind of like tying it off. And the feathers just kind of meld in with the wood so that they're sticking out of the end at perfect equidistant sections. And not 5 minutes later, you have 2 bushels of arrows sitting on the work table.
It was taking like all the notes.
That
Yeah.
is impressive.
And
Well, it's the least I can do.
question: for someone of my nature, but if we were to, how would someone like me go about doing this?
Well, for someone like yourself who is in tune with nature, it wouldn't be hard to uh, get used to it if you don't already know how to do it. You just haven't applied it yet. Zephyr, what cantrips do you know?
Currently, I know Thorn Whip, Magic Stone, Druidcraft, and Guidance.
This is something you can do with Druidcraft.
Just do this with Druidcraft.
Yep.
No.
She was not lying when she said this was the least she could do.
I do believe I might be able to do this in the future for you, Vanya.
Yeah, if I run out of arrows again. I mean, it'll certainly save me from having to buy them myself.
Assuming there are many ways I could apply this method to different things.
I mean, it certainly has its uses, but it also has its extent to what it can do. Like, all we really did was find uh, find the arrows within the materials and then just help the materials get there itself. Just a bit more of a natural process than the way that most people are used to doing it, using tools and whatnot. Every single one of the sticks and stones you brought me already had an arrow inside of it, just waiting to be put together.
Zephyr is like thoroughly enthralled in everything she's saying.
Well, is there anything else I can help you with?
That's all I needed.
Great.
Well, unless I have any more questions about the ways I can use my abilities. That's
Oh,
a good
yeah.
question, Joe.
Out of character, Joe brings up a good point. What happens to the rest of the knights?
Oh, they're there. They're in one of the huts.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot, I did say I was carting everyone.
Well, it's because I didn't know if they had followed us when we, like, you guys chased after when you guys followed us into the clearing, and then et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So.
Yep, they've been there every step of the way. They just haven't had a reason to say anything.
Oh, I didn't know they were with us. So.
You know, of course, I gave Harvey the most uncomfortable ride. I don't even go there, Joe.
I didn't say anything.
Well, I think that's everything we needed for now. So thank you very much.
Yes,
Of
thank you.
course.
I put 7 of the arrows in my quiver, and then I hand the rest to Ramona.
The 33 others.
To the bag of holding.
Nice.
Stuffing arrows in there.
I hope you know they're mine now.
What goes into the bag never comes out.
It's actually a bag of devouring.
Don't tell them my secret.
Oh, sorry. That's her familiar.
Oh my god.
So we know Zara secretly owns a rug of smothering.
Hate those rugs.
All right.
Can we take like a couple-minute break? I really have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I was just about to ask what the party was going to do next, and then I was going to break for whatever people needed to. So, what is the party gonna do now? They got arrows. They went on glider rides and brought back their pets.
We should find Amity.
Yeah, we will reconvene and
Probably.
then figure out what kind of stuff we will brainstorm as a group. More things we might need to do.
Right.
All right.
Especially now that we know that Druidcraft can do that. Like, is there anything else you need made?
Never need to buy arrows again. Woo!
All right. Well, as the party starts head back to their huts to reconvene, that's where we will take our break.
Woo!
Sounds good. We will be back shortly. And we are back.
Alright, so you guys converge back at the hut and find inside, well, technically there's multiple huts. Inside one of the huts is Amity and awkwardly Nomad playing cards.
Solitaire.
You're still here playing cards.
Was I supposed to be somewhere else?
I mean, I didn't know if you wanted to like go with the group.
Let a
Does the
man
group
enjoy his
need me?
cards.
I mean, maybe.
I didn't hear any distress.
I mean, there doesn't have to be distress for the party to want you around, you know.
The party knows how to use words.
I mean,
Debatable.
Depends on who
Or
you
at
ask.
least, hand signals, I can read those too. Several signs of distress would include words, yelling.
I mean, there doesn't have to be distress for you to like interact.
I'm sorry, Amity, did you want my company?
I mean, don't twist my words around.
Amity's got all her milkshake is bringing all the boys to her yard.
I think it's the opposite.
It's that big wizard energy.
Yep.
wizard.
Big book wizard energy.
Oh my god. It's like I'm just saying. Anyway, you don't know where they are, do you?
Know where who is?
The party.
I assumed they were with you. Did you
No,
not leave to find them?
I left to find Kato.
Is Kato not with the party?
He is not. He's at that big cherry blossom tree.
Have you tried checking the skies?
No.
Shit, he saw that.
I'm pretty sure that our Warforged friend is the only one who knows how to fly here. At all. Besides me.
So why have you not gone into the sky to look for them?
Because why would they be in the sky?
No, why wouldn't you go into the sky?
Because they wouldn't be there.
But it gives you a better vantage point. Just
I
like
mean, that's
we
also-
on the mountaintop have a vantage point over the valley surrounding us.
That's also a very, very intricate spell to cast, and I just don't feel like it's necessary at the moment.
Here, have fun. And he casts fly on you.
Woo!
He's just like, leave me be. Let me be with my cards.
Okay, well, have fun with your cards, I guess. And she's gonna go fly around.
Alright, Amity, as you fly out of the hut, that's about right when the party arrives.
Oh god. Hello. Just gonna
So you
land.
guys just see Amity flying out of the hut.
Oh,
Alright.
Oh! Hi. I was looking for you. Or I was going to. You know what I mean.
And then you hear a voice. I see you found them. Good job.
Thanks, I tried really hard.
And then the spell ends.
Oh.
Oh.
is this while she's in the air?
I can't tell if he's being flippant or just abrasive.
I'm so condescending, like, wow, good job, you found them.
He dropped this while she was in the air.
It's not condescending, it's more like, you didn't think of that with how smart you are?
She didn't
Or the
really.
smart one.
And that's not condescending at all.
Yeah.
It's just quizzical.
I mean, she did think it through. She's just like, eh.
We have all these magical resources at our disposal. Why aren't we using them?
Because what if we get attacked?
Yes, we need these things.
I think we're safe.
That's what
Safety is an illusion.
That's worries.
that's what I've been thinking with my tiny hut and all, and then it's never safe.
That's famous last words right there.
And then everything changed when the fire Ashari attacked.
To be fair, that could be a plot point.
So what has everyone been up to?
We flew.
Okay.
We kind of went for a joyride.
Look,
on
and I'll
what
show
they
you
call
my
Did you
it.
check the skies?
Shut up.
I'll show you my sketchbook too of everyone happily flying.
Oh, that looks so fun.
Yeah, you should try it.
To be fair, Amity, I much preferred flying with you than with Arden.
Oh, that's so sweet.
You can hear the excitement.
Jesse
he-
is just like
is he-
loving Nomad right now. This
Is he
great for him.
broken? What
I think-
happened?
I think he's just really grumpy today. I don't know.
Nomad, are you okay? Do you not like heights or something? Oh, that's weird. You live in trees. Never mind.
Well, I mean, there's tree heights, and then there's
That's true.
this.
There's
We
too
should
many
probably-
people.
Oh, you don't like people?
Oh, I like people, just not large groups of people.
You're the
I
one
mean,
that brought us.
Should have just told me that instead of
Right.
being all grumpy about it.
I'm not
instead of
grumpy
being an
about it.
edgelord.
If I was angry, I would have told you the exact time in which you die.
Okay. Well,
Let's
Aha.
not do that.
But you already told us that if you tell us when we die, then we will not die at that point anymore because it changes things.
Yeah,
Unless
but
you
everybody freaks out about the time that they die. So, I mean,
Attest to that, yeah.
Crushed in an escalator? What the fuck's an escalator?
I mean, I think the only person that you could probably tell who wouldn't really freak out is Zeres. I mean, he's been dead, so nothing won't be scary to him when it happens.
Oh, it'll still
To
be
immediate
scary.
panic on Zara's face.
No, it'll still be scary. Just, I'd rather not know. Because I don't want that threat looming over me again. Wasn't pleasant the
ask.
first time.
By the way, what was that like? If you don't want to talk about it, sorry, you don't have to. I'm just curious.
I don't know. It's weird. It's just like everything stops,
What did
including
it
you.
feel like coming back?
Like waking up, kinda.
Jeffrey is
Huh.
both enthused and worried.
Well, does anybody know maybe what else we need? Got arrows for Vanya. You guys have your... Oh, they're back!
yeah. And Marmalade like sniffs you.
Oh! I give him small nose boop.
Still
No.
want to see the, I still want to see the mink ride the pseudo dragon.
Say that again.
Still, just want to picture the image of the mink on the back of the pseudo dragon.
No, it'll happen.
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
gotta
We have
get-
plans.
We
Gotta
got
get a
you
little
covered.
suit of armor.
we've had this plan since like the end of campaign 1.
Is Kato here with us, or no? It's just Nomad, snarky boy.
He's still sitting in
It's
a very...
just the 6 of you and Nomad.
The 8 of us, sir.
Yeah. Way to make a discriminatory, Mike.
Jeez. How long we've been waiting to get these two back, and you still ignore them.
She's gonna kill
sorry,
them off
the
again.
7.5 of you.
That's fair.
I'll let you figure that one out.
I'm not gonna lie, I literally just like looked off as if there was a camera, like it's the office or something.
Putting a whole like Pull the whole gym from the office there.
So yeah, anybody else need anything?
Found
I
out
think
that
I think I got most of the stuff I needed. I got marmalade back, I got ink, and I got paper, and I got a scroll. We're good.
Do you guys have extra in case you need to bring them back again?
Nope.
Well, that depends. Kato, do you have more in case we need to bring them back again?
I don't think Kato's here.
As I said, Kato is not there.
Dang it, I'm
Sorry. She yells to the sky, Kato!
Kato!
He's not omnipotent. He's not everywhere at once.
Not convinced.
If he was everywhere at once, he wouldn't have to go west.
I think
But
maybe
maybe
we
he's already
should
there.
pick
He's just
some up.
leading us.
Whatever you guys need, we should maybe see if we can get some for you to just have in case, you know, Kato's not around at some point, or you never know.
Yeah, I agree. That would probably be
I
good.
mean,
Yeah, maybe we should have asked the naturalist while we were there.
I mean, like, we can just go back.
You
we
guys
should
met a naturalist?
Not
Oh
that
yeah,
kind of
we
naturalist.
made arrows in like an hour. A lot.
Oh, that's neat.
It was
Oh,
crazy.
If you
Actually,
needed
with
arrows,
your-
you could have just asked.
With your guys' help, it was more like half an hour.
Yeah. Just found out I can make them as well.
Oh, that's good. Good for the archers in the group.
Say, sorry, do you need bolts, by the way?
I don't really use my crossbow much anymore.
No, I probably should get another dagger just in case.
It's the whole pew, pew, pew thing, right?
Pretty much.
Nomad pulls out a dagger.
Is
Well,
that
I was
for me?
about to give her one, but okay.
I have several.
Can I have one as well?
Thanks.
I will give you one, Ramona. I've got a spare.
Okay.
I have
Thanks.
a index I don't use.
You
I
see,
technically don't
Nomad
need
does
any
reach into his quiver and just pulls out several daggers. It's like, do you want extras?
There's a tiny dagger
Sure.
Dagger quiver.
I has two.
color coded for various days.
Also, to the wizard dual wielder.
We're melee now, right, Emily?
Rowan's just like, no.
No, absolutely not.
Jeez, Mom, you never let me have any fun.
Emily like stabs the air. Like
No, it's not. No.
Rowan and
Come
his body are just like, no, no, no,
No.
no,
That's
no,
not-
not like that. No, that's not how you hold it. Like, what are you trying to do? Stab him in the rib?
Knife.
That's exactly what's happening right now.
Pointy end outward.
oh.
The
We're
pointy
just holding
end,
onto the blade and like trying to whack him with the hilt.
the pointy end goes in the fleshy bits.
I
No,
stabbed
the
you.
other
Oh,
person's
nope,
fleshy
stabbed
bit.
myself.
Yeah.
The other person's not yours.
And Zaris takes 6 points of damage.
Jeez.
Just let's
a lot of damage.
let's just put the daggers away right now. I don't think we should be waving these
It's a
around
critical
here.
hit.
Okay.
You really don't need the townspeople here thinking we're crazy while you two are waving around knives.
I
I mean-
waving mine around. That was all Amity.
I already think the people here think we're crazy.
Are you not?
Walking around with me.
You know, I think maybe you should like go have a nap or something, Nomad. Like,
No,
you're
so
not you
grumpy.
when you're grumpy.
God.
Somebody get that man a Snickers.
Oh, and I
Speaking-
assure you, I'm not angry.
I didn't say angry. I said grumpy. They're very different things.
I feel like you were mistaking me for somebody that studies language just for a living.
Wow. So sassy.
Okay,
see.
you know, we're gonna leave you to your stuff. I think you just need some time. Clearly, maybe alone.
Perhaps we should go outside where there's less shade.
Did not.
Nomad just knows the shade cantrip.
Darkness. Abby Dalzim's horrid wilting. What?
No. Good.
What time of day are we at now, Mr. Mike?
It's kind of hard to tell with the clouds. The sun has since dipped behind the wall of clouds that protects the valley. Actually, you would get the sense that it's probably getting pretty close to sunset, as the clouds to the west are a interesting amalgamation of purples, oranges, and yellows as the sun behind it setting. Quite the stunning sight, actually.
Question, Nomad. Do you wouldn't happen to know anything about the mountain that looks like a hammer that we apparently shouldn't be going anywhere near?
I've heard some things. Of course, I avoid it myself.
I imagine there's very good reason to avoid that mountain.
Well, if the elves told you to avoid it, I would avoid it.
Alright. So just avoid that mountain.
Almost entirely.
Happen to be like what, east, north?
It would be to the northeast of the valley.
Okay.
Zephyr is more on like the kind of like west by southwest side of the valley.
And we're gonna keep going west, right?
Yeah.
See?
So the only reason to go towards the mountain is
You want to go towards the
the
mountain?
folly of adventurers.
We don't
Let's
have that.
do it. Oh.
I have some things to go do on my own. So if I'll be back later tonight, probably once the sun's gone down.
That's not ominous at all.
I'm
Not at all.
sorry. Do you want me to tell you what I'm gonna go do? Like, I don't care.
If you wish.
I'm
It would be nice to know your whereabouts in case. And she turns to Amity.
If
Something
distress were to happen.
Is that a threat?
Oh, gee.
Following up on our previous conversation of distressful
my lord.
signals and how to spot them.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
You know, just in case there were a dire situation in which my presence would be needed.
isn't this why people usually split up in pairs? You know, buddy system?
I mean, you could split up in groups, but it tends to work better in larger numbers.
I really don't think we have much to worry about up here. I think we'll be fine.
I would agree. But I didn't know if you were planning on leaving the village or not.
Oh, no, I plan on just going and finding a quiet spot to be by myself, that's all.
Well, it's been quiet here for the last several hours.
Well, I mean, okay, not in a
I-
hut, I meant.
I recommend going where Kato is. Or was.
Oh,
This will be.
alright, well, I guess I'll go there and see if he's still there. If not, I'll take his spot.
Yeah, he was sitting on a log. It was nice.
Which direction?
She'll like go point out the.
Yeah, you can see the tree from here. It's not that. It's hard to miss.
Okay, I go in that direction.
Okay.
I'll be over there if you
Um,
need
I'm
me.
probably gonna.
So Rowan heads off.
Ray's gonna go find that wolf again. And cut to Rowan in the time being, unless you have anything important.
Wait, Zephyri's going to find the wolf?
Going to find the wolf.
Okay.
But the animals speak.
I don't know what to do. Emily and Vanya, you guys should go fly. It's a lot of fun.
Or I could just stay here and write in my book.
Or like the next
Oh.
8 hours.
I was going to start asking around to gather some more supplies in the event we need to cast another ritual.
Yeah, that I need to do that too.
I'll go for you and you can write your thing.
Oh, that's so nice. And she's like, I'll go somewhere the nomad won't get if I'm around.
Oh, buddy.
You can stay. I don't mind the company.
Okay.
It's all this one section I'm stuck on.
I just can't figure out 23 down.
To be fair, your story might help complete the story that I've been trying to figure out.
What story is that?
Well, the cards, they're not playing cards, they tell a story.
And how will I help with that?
Just to see what he was playing solitaire.
The aspect of creativity helps ease my mind.
Oh. That would make sense.
I didn't have time the last time I visited to figure out the story of the valley and the surrounding mountains.
Oh.
And since nature doesn't speak unless you speak to it, it's difficult to tell.
So you make it up?
No. I travel.
Well, that would make sense. She's gonna sit down and get to writing, I suppose.
Alright. What's Zaris doing?
Probably just gonna rest for now.
Alright. Sounds good. Vanya, what'd you say you were doing?
Somebody had mentioned seeing if we can gather more like incense and whatnot before we left.
Yeah.
So I was going to try and do that since I can't find Kato to ask him if he has any, and who knows if he's going to stay with us forever.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm-
and someone
and
was
I'm
getting
going,
me some.
Yeah, I'm going with the help because I'm getting amenities for her.
Alright. Alright, let's start with Zephyr. Zephyr, you find the wolf at the edge of the village, and surprisingly enough, you also find Kato speaking to the wolf.
Alright, because he's literally about to do...
And as you get close enough, you actually recognize the language as Sylvan.
just... Gonna walk up, try not to interrupt him in his current sentences.
Well, as soon as you notice like what language they're speaking, you don't even really get like anything, any like context of the conversation as Kato notices you, and then the wolf notices you as well as you draw Kato's attention, and Kato says, "Hey Zephyr, what's up?"
Just gonna... actually talk to, Sifir.
Okay, well, it's back to Sif. It's like says in Sylvan, We can continue our conversation later. And Sif nods, and Kato turns and walks away.
So you understand, they sort of start speaking in Sylvan, so you understand this language?
See the wolf's eyes narrow a bit, and then after a moment, she nods.
It'd be easier if I spoke to you in your language?
She doesn't respond.
You gonna cast Speak with Animals?
Okay.
Is this better?
All right. She still does not respond. In fact, now it seems like she doesn't understand you.
Drop it then. And be like, from what Arden told me, you're sent to watch over, did he tell us the kid's name was Ari?
Yeah.
Say Ari.
You watch as she kind of like lowers her head a little bit and stares at you a bit more intensely. And from the look on her face, you almost get the sense like she's saying, "Yeah, what of it?"
You know when his parents will be back?
She watches you for another moment before snorting and kind of backing away, looking past you. You get the sense that she does not know.
Possible I keep an eye out for them.
No response.
Right? Zephyri's sort of... Even this is sort of catching you off guard, because... to it being a one-way conversation with an animal?
Go ahead and make either Arcana or Nature check, whichever you would like.
Question is, which is higher for me? Both are the same, so... Nature will probably give it a better result here.
All right. With your Nature check, you get the sense that the reason Sif understands you when you speak Sylvan and doesn't understand you when you speak with animals is because she's not a beast, she is a fae.
So what you cut out there?
She's not a beast, she is fae.
Ah. I'll be like, would it help at all if I kept an eye out for his parents?
As you repeat your question, she makes a huffing sound, and then stands up onto all fours, towering over you, and then just gingerly walks away.
Okay, that's unexpected, and just
So what's Zephyr doing now?
he's just gonna and just starts walking off back to the huts to rest.
All right.
Oh, and before they leave to do it, Amity will give Ramona the marmalade to, just in case she's like, just in case you need to like talk to me or something, just talk to her and she'll talk to me.
I pet her.
She nuzzles.
Okay.
It's a little more complicated than that, but all right.
Well, whatever.
All right. So, Ramona and Vanya, I'm assuming you're heading back to the garden, because
Yep.
if anyone's gonna have incense, it's gonna be Enna.
Yep.
Be like, hell again for the second time.
Yeah. When you get there, you find that she is not there.
I look over to Ramona. Is it just like an open garden?
Yeah.
I look at Ramona and I say, I mean, do you think we'll get in trouble if we just pick it ourselves? Or do you think we should try to find her?
Maybe we should ask. Someone might know where she is, just in case. Because I think they're also our way down, so we don't want to anger anybody.
That's a good point. Can we... Oh, go ahead.
So you really need to try flying, but it was also instilled a lot of fear in me.
I mean, we do have to get down from here, so I'll get another chance. Do we see anybody nearby that we could talk to?
Make a perception check.
I'm looking to. Oof, I'm petting Marmalade.
All right. Vanya, you see a half-elf man with a basket of something making his way towards the...
I'll approach him and say, excuse me, can I have a moment of your time?
Oh, you must be one of the guests that I've heard about.
Yes, my name is Vanya. This is my friend Ramona. We were looking for the High Naturalist. We wanted to ask her about potentially getting some incense. Another one of our party and myself need it for a ritual.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Kind of looks over towards the amalgamation of bright colors on the clouds that show that it's kind of late sunset. Oh, right about now she's probably lighting the Sky Dancer's lamps. If you like, I can look to see how much incense we have in the storehouse, or if you want to speak with her, you can find her over at the cherry blossom tree.
If you don't mind looking. I don't want to disturb her.
All right. He will go into the storehouse and he finds about 30 gold worth of incense that he can give you.
Cool. Thank you. We really appreciate the help that your tribe is giving us.
Well, you're very welcome.
Lighting the Sky Dancers' lanterns, do they fly around at night too?
You could probably guess that they do.
I know, it's so exciting. I want to try it again. Or it'll look really pretty. Anyway.
Do you want to go watch the Sky Dancers?
Yeah. But we should give Amity some of this first, right? Or I can keep it all in my bag.
Actually, that might be the easiest way to do it. Ideally, we won't need it anytime soon.
Cool.
All right. So you guys head towards the cherry blossom tree then?
Yeah.
All right.
Poor Rowan.
Speaking of which, Rowan, you get to the cherry blossom tree and find that there's actually several people there.
Ah!
The complete opposite of what you were looking to do.
God damn it! I've been bamboozled.
Suddenly, no man's recommendation doesn't sound so bad after all. How the tables have turned.
I roll my eyes for unexplainable reason.
As you look, you see that the crowd of people, probably about a dozen or so people, all dressed in kind of the garb of the Sky Dancer pilots, are in the process of collecting blossoms from the cherry blossom tree as they just kind of like fall down from the branches.
Oh, I thought they're just walking up and like ripping them off. I was like, whoa. This took a turn.
Yeah, you can see that they're all kind of like catching them in like these large wooden bowls.
I just stand there and keep watching.
All right. So you watch as after a couple minutes of them catching the blossoms, they start grinding the blossoms in the bowls, and then when they get it into a nice fine kind of pulpy liquid, they pour it into these small kind of like wooden globes, and then you see have you met Anna yet? I don't remember.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, okay, yeah. You see each they start to like get into like a line for standing next to Anna, and as they walk up, they kind of like hold out like these wooden globes, and Anna starts to cast a spell.
Is it dark
and
yet, by the way?
it's starting to get dark. Like the last little bits of color are fading from the sky, and you can see that as Anna casts the spell, a surprisingly bright light seems to come out of these globes.
Ugh.
Yeah, kind of like art shooting out of the globe on one side in a kind of like focused beam shooting outward.
Okay, I'm going to watch this hidden, and I would like to hide.
Okay.
Because I
Sure.
can.
Make a stealth check.
31.
Jesus, did you roll that to yourself?
No. It might
Oh.
just be lagging, but it's
Maybe
there
maybe my roll 20 is just lagging. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't see it either.
I also don't see it.
It's right there! It's a 31!
Did anybody see me type?
I rolled a natural 20!
Yeah, I saw you
Yep.
type. Yeah.
I see the test.
I don't
know.
I don't see Joe typing though.
I also don't see Joe typing.
Then
Or
maybe
the
you
icon.
lagging.
I see Joe typing.
Oh, there
There it
it
goes.
It came up.
There it is. Okay.
Wait, did my roll show up?
Yes,
Yeah.
just now.
Okay. Well, 31.
Yeah, Joe's thing showed up immediately for me. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
see your
did show up
31
for
now.
I'm hidden.
Alright. Yes, you are quite hidden. Luckily, no one was really paying attention to you as they were lighting the lanterns. You also notice about this time you see Vanya and Ramona quickly making their way up the path, and as the two of you get to the crest of the hill, you see all of these sky dancers with these kind of like globes that are shooting out a beam of light, and you see them affix the globe to the front of their sky sails and then go running off of the cliff one after another as they take off into the night sky, just as the last bits of light drain away into darkness.
So now there's no one here.
Enna is still there.
Okay.
And you see her kind of like watch them for a couple minutes, and then turn around, and she sees Vanya and Ramona and starts walking towards them.
Waiting.
Ramona, you don't see her coming as you're the only one without dark vision.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I can't see anything. I was watching the lights and they ran away.
You still see like little bits of the light kind of like flying through the air, but because they're not shining directly at you, they're very hard to tell. If anything, they look kind of like shooting stars.
That's what I was just gonna be looking at and for.
Yeah. And then you just kind of hear a voice in the darkness say, "Oh, hello."
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I'm sorry. We don't have a lot of humans up here. And you see her hand suddenly just light up on fire. Hello.
As one does.
Hi again. That's cool. And I'll motion up to the sky where they're all flying sometimes.
Yeah, it's really quite ingenious. One of the people that used to be in the tribe came up with the idea. She found very reflective stones and put them on the inside of those globes. The nectar from the cherry blossoms is flammable, but instead of burning fast, it's a slow burn. A certain amount of cherry blossom nectar can burn for hours without having to refill the lanterns. Definitely made the skies a bit safer at night.
You don't have any extra of those lanterns, do you?
We have a few spares, yes.
Be okay if I could have one, what with not being able to see.
Oh, suppose it would be okay. Would you just be carrying it? They can be a bit cumbersome. It's not a problem for the sky sails because it's the sails hold the weight, but if you had to carry it around all the time,
Hmm.
you,
Is
not
there
exactly.
like? Oh, sorry.
It's not exactly a handheld lantern. It's meant for a large kind of area of light. So,
Well, would it fit in my bag?
are you showing her your bag of holding?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It might be a bit of a tight fit.
Hmm.
Yeah. In order to describe it, the lanterns themselves are a little bit bigger than a basketball, made of solid wood with stone on the inside to reflect the light. It's yeah, not exactly a lightweight contraption.
Right.
It's like
Still
what
be so cool.
about the size of a paper lantern, except replaced paper with like a wooden material.
Kinda, yeah.
What about like just some of those reflective stones and cherry blossoms?
Well, we can give you some cherry blossom nectar. I don't know how long it would last. Um, as for the stones, they're actually harvested from a specific cave a little lower down into the valley.
Hmm.
I can check to see if we have any spare stones, but we don't usually like to have excess of anything just laying around. We like to put things to use.
That makes sense. If you could check, that'd be great. Also, Vanya was looking for some in. Oh no, we got incense. Never
No,
mind.
we got it. We got it
Yeah, I
from
forgot.
the man we ran into.
Oh, that must have been Roland, my assistant.
Yes, he was very helpful.
Cool.
Well, I can definitely see if we have any of those, but it'll have to wait until morning. Is that all right?
Yeah, I think I want to just watch them like zoom by sometimes.
Yeah, it is rather entrancing, isn't it? And you see her kind of look at the sky as well. Well, I should be turning in. Have a good night, ladies.
Wait,
You as
where
well.
would the best spot to sit be?
Um, honestly, wherever you like. The view is pretty nice, no matter where you are in the village.
Okay. Good night.
She waves and then starts walking away, and then you see the fire that she lit in her hand just kind of snuff out as she doesn't need it anymore. And then Ramona is
And
blinded
then I
again.
can't see anymore.
I'll lead us to a spot to sit.
Okay.
Thanks.
You kind of have like a thought like they should really put guardrails on these cliffs. So Rowan, you just watch this whole exchange between the three of them.
Yeah, with my wonderful 31 in stealth, I'm going to sneak up behind Ramona and just do like the thing where you like grab someone on the shoulders really fast and go like ah.
I scream.
All right, Ramona, roll initiative. No, just kidding.
Or actually, even better, yeah, I'll scream and cast blink.
Oh God. So you grab Ramona. Ramona, roll your d20. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
I don't.
you don't disappear. You can't like you see her. You grab Ramona. She screams and like quickly casts a spell, and then like you see like her body kind of shift a little bit, but then just stay planted right there, in front of you.
Is that something that happens when you get scared?
Oh, still there.
Yeah, you recognize now that it is Rowan. That's
Jesus. Why would you? It's dark. You can't see. There's cliffs everywhere. I just wanted to look at
I
the
forget
pretty
too, 'cause,
sky.
she's got like 0 feet of dark vision to my 120. We're like the opposite ends of the scale.
Oh man. Oh.
And as Ramona is freaking out, suddenly she just disappears right in front of you. And like you had your arms on her shoulders, and then she's just not there anymore.
I panic. And I start looking around like, Vanya, I scared her out of existence.
Have we seen her do this before?
Nope.
No!
I only just got it.
Hey, Mike, real quick, how far away would you say that the tree is from the tent?
From the tent?
Yep.
Oh, you mean the hut?
Dreams.
I would say it's within dimension door range.
Okay. So suddenly Nomad appears.
God,
And then Vanya and Ron are like,
And then I reappear, I think.
He's just holding a spear, just like... I heard stress.
This is not the spear stabbing kind of stress, Nomad. And then as like Ramona pops up, I'm like, ah! I grab her like, no! I'm sorry! I'm so sorry! I didn't mean to. Please don't disappear anymore.
Suddenly, Kato appears. What's going on?
oh my.
Oh my god!
Who checked the thermostat?
Hey, did somebody touch the thermostat in your house?
Hey, my thing went off. My kid's over here.
Oh my god. Like,
Oh, man.
it's everything's fine. Yeah. Thanks, I guess, though.
He just releases the spear from existence and just disappears again. Just looks at Amity.
Me too.
It's fine. There's no distress. And then just keeps putting down cards.
Suddenly there's a rush of wind, and you're all illuminated by a spotlight coming from overhead. It's like, hey, you folks okay down there?
Yeah,
Just sat. She's just sitting.
we're fine. Sorry for the disturbance. And then I look around. I'm like, wait, Ramona?
So,
Where'd she go? Vanya, she's gone again.
All of a sudden,
I think-
Zaris appears through Dimension Door as well. What the hell's going on? Everybody okay?
I'm just imagining Amity and Zephyr just sitting in like the tent, like, wait, what's happening? As everyone's just like, boop, 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 boop.
Everything's fine,
Nomad was
Zaris.
not gone very long. Just out, back in.
You come to find out that he's actually just been by the cherry blossom tree the entire time.
can I choose to end my blink spell?
Oh yeah, you can. Like I think it takes an action to have
Yeah.
it end.
Takes
Yeah.
an action
So
to
I'll
cancel.
end it.
All right.
Well, that was fun.
I
Sorry, everyone.
Well, this
Why
is
don't-
exactly the opposite of what I was planning on doing tonight, so if you'll excuse me, I will go look for another place to sit, I guess.
Yeah, enjoy. Ramona, I was just going to sit here to watch them if you'd like to join me.
Yeah. Sit down. If I'm beside you, right?
Yes. I pull her down next to me.
We watch the not actually shooting stars.
Kato just sighs, reaches into his bag and pulls out a small object, and then Ramona, you feel his hand take your hand and put an object in your hand, and he says, "Try not to walk off the cliff," and then he just walks away.
What? Fanya, what is it?
Let me guess, you have dark vision now.
Do I have dark vision now?
No.
Oh.
As Kato is walking away, he just says out loud, "Light up," and suddenly this small ball in your hand just illuminates and lifts off of your hand.
Oh, jeez, I was looking right at it. Oh,
Yeah, it's kind of like a, oh god, that's kind of bright.
Now you know how I feel when I look at the sun.
you're still here? She walks away. No.
Not anymore! And I use shadow step and disappear 60 feet in a direction.
Well, but
Off the cliff. Fuck.
you see the shooting stars better when it's darker. D-light. Does it work? Light down.
Turn off. Dim. Is there a dimmer on this ball?
Yeah, where's the dimmer switch?
Yeah.
You don't see a switch.
Okay, I just put it behind us.
Alright, your shadows are cast out in front of you, going farther than the cliff edge, as the glowing ball of light just kind of drifts behind you.
And we watch the shooting stars.
Alright, nice. So, Rowan, you eventually find
Attempt number 2.
quiet place. What are you doing?
She's just gonna find, like, yeah, a quiet little dark corner somewhere where nobody'll, trip over her.
It's actually just behind the hut.
And then she's gonna sit down, reach into her bag, and pull out the 2 holy symbols that she has in there. And then she's just gonna, like, pray. And that's what she does with her night.
To both of them?
She prays to one of them, not really the other one, but...
Okay. Gotcha. Alright. So,
After a little while, too, Nomad does look over at Amity. It's just like, you guys probably need these a little bit more than I do. And he takes out a small batch of 5 arrows and sets it on the table.
there's a table.
Sure.
I mean,
Very small table.
there's literally a 3-foot totem. I could.
Yeah, puts it on top of the totem.
There you go.
Totem table.
Thanks. I get. I'm sure Vanya will be happy about that.
Well, she'll probably appreciate it more if it comes from you.
Any-
Aww.
I don't know if that's the case. I mean,
Anything in particular special about them?
Well, I mean, they have better trajectory than most arrows.
Can you?
In other
just...
words, they help you hit your target better.
Interesting.
oh, that's neat.
Yes.
She'll
I have more of them, but I forgot where I put them.
that's okay. She'll
If you would
she'll
like, I could wrap those. in
gather
something
the
cool.
arrows.
goes back to playing cards.
If you
Alright.
like, Zephyr can wrap those in something for you.
I'm good.
You sure? Not like a little bow or
Yeah.
anything?
They're just gonna sit next to me while I write.
Sure? Don't want like a little bow or something?
That I
A little
I'm,
card that says like
I'm,
from
I'm
Nomad.
pretty sure it doesn't need to be that snazzy.
Alright, fine.
Alright, so after a couple hours stargazing, I guess?
You know,
Kind of, it's almost people watching if you think about it.
Yeah.
it's a little bit of both.
Mhm.
We're multitasking.
I want to say plane watching, but not exactly the same thing. But whatever.
Sky sail watching?
Yeah. Uh, Sky Dancer watching.
Mm-hmm.
So after a couple hours of Sky Dancer watching, praying, and studying?
Contrary
Is
to
that
what she
Amber was
says,
doing?
Rowan actually doesn't end up coming back to the tent.
Okay.
And for the most part, Jeffrey's just being, like, he's using his totem to, like, figure out what the hell he could do with it besides have it as a totem.
Alright.
Sort of what he's been doing.
So yeah, after a couple of hours of doing whatever people were doing, eventually, it gets to the point of the night where you all start kind of turning in. I'm assuming Ramona and Vanya make their way back to the huts.
Yeah.
Yes. I bring the light orb if it lets me.
Yeah. It drifts behind you, unless you decide to have it drift in front of you instead.
I will put it in front of me instead.
Okay, there you go. Yep. So you guys make your way back to the hut. Rowan, are you just going to trance right there in your little dark spot where you prayed?
Yeah, and then after trancing, she's gonna pray until the sun comes up.
All right. Yeah. So you all finally get a nice, peaceful long rest without having to worry about
The threat of death.
anything. Yeah, pretty much anything attacking in the middle of the night. And Rowan, in the morning as you're praying,
Once it's daylight out, though, one of her or holy symbols she does put away and only has them out.
sure.
The safe one.
As you're praying, you hear what sounds like thunder crack through the sky. And as you look up, letters written in the clouds in Elvish saying unknown structure approaching from the northwest.
I immediately book it for the tent.
All right. So you go running towards the hut that everybody was staying in, even though there were several huts.
I go to the one that we were in the most.
Yeah, I think it's funny that like everybody stays in like the same hut. It's kind of like Walking Dead, where it's just like everybody was just camped out in the same house, even though everybody was given separate houses.
Yes.
Yep.
Exactly.
We're just used to it now.
Yeah.
Amity
Yep.
definitely fell asleep while she was writing.
Oh, buddy.
That's cute. All right. And yeah, you run in to see everybody in different levels of unconsciousness. No sign of Kato, however.
I immediately begin waking everybody up. Up.
What?
What?
Unknown structure. I can't even begin to fathom what that means. Approaching from the northwest. Written in the
What?
sky. That was quite impressive. Everybody up.
All right.
Not that
And
impressive.
as you are all slowly getting shaken awake from the lulls of your sleep, you hear a sound that immediately breaks all of the stupor out of you. What sounds like a vicious roar.
I cast Mage Armor.
I already did. It's forced to habit to keep it up at this point.
I leave the tent as everybody's now awake.
Same.
All
leave
right.
the tent.
Is there anything?
As you all leave the tent, you look around to try and place where the roar came from, and it's not hard as you hear several other roars kind of almost answering to the first one, and you look, and towards the northwest, just breaking out of the wall of clouds, you see a very peculiar sight. You see what looks to be a large stone castle flying through the sky,
What the?
kind of listing to one side as it drifts through the rough clouds of the protective, and you see several winged flying
Winged what?
around the castle. You see
What?
several winged creatures flying around the castle, and you see coming from these creatures fire, lightning, blasts of cold wind, and you realize that whatever this flying castle is doing here, it's being attacked by dragons. And that's where we're going to end tonight.
Neat.
So I don't forget about it by the time next week comes around. Did I get those arrows from Amity?
Yeah, she would have given them to you, like, as she was waking up.
Like, here.
Here, magic arrows.
These are
Yeah.
for you.
Flying castle, magic arrows, dragons, go.
They're from Nomad.
Why didn't he just give them to me himself?
He said it'd be better if I did it.
I can
Weird.
hear you.
Yeah, why didn't
That's
you
what
just
you
give them
said.
to me yourself?
I think he might be shy.
Aww.
I know the feeling.
And on that note, I think I will end the session here.
All right.
Great ending.
So thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next week.